Hi guys, welcome to Coed-Y-Mwstwr Golf Club again, and welcome to the Just Play Golf YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at bunkers, basically how to get out of them, and hopefully to give you a little bit more understanding of the physics and the swing components that get us out. A lot of what we'll talk about is setup, and that's because it's massive. The little bit we do talk about the swing is huge. Hopefully you get something from this video, and hopefully you get a little bit more success around the greens. Hi guys, and welcome to Coed-Y-Mwstwr Golf Club again. We're back at the second and we're in the bunker. Now, I suppose the beach is an exciting place to be, but when you're on a golf course it can also be a very nerve-wracking experience. What I see a lot of amateurs do is they get very steep and they just take a big clump. They get the leading edge of the club in behind the ball and it's dead. It doesn't go very far. Maybe you might get to the front of the bunker, you might be lucky, and you might, instead of taking the big chunk, you might jump out of it enough and it scuttles along the green. Usually there's a big lake waiting for you, so you've just added another 2-shot penalty to your game as well. The first thing we're going to talk about is bounce. Now, bounce is the angle between this edge and the back of the club. That means that it's not going to hit the sand and bounce out of the way. It's going to act almost as a hydrofoil. It's going to make sure that the club doesn't make contact with the ball, but it also doesn't get stuck in, whereas the leading edge will just get stuck in and it doesn't move anywhere. Now, that means that you'll see lots of players, especially tall players or good players, opening their club face. That doesn't mean they grip hold of the club, so it's square, and then try and move it. They are setting up, they are holding the club open, so it's already open, and then they're taking their hold. They are gripping it after they've opened the club face, so the club face stays open at all times. Now, because it's open, which way is, let me rake you. Because it's open, which way is that club face now pointing? It's now pointing a long way right. So we're going to use our trusty alignment stick. It's pointing way off. If you can see, I'm not sure what you can see on the camera, but there's a tree over there. It's near enough pointing off the green, and my target's the yellow flag. So that's my club face. What we then want to do is aim shoulders, the most important thing. Feet and shoulders should move together. We're going to aim them left. So we're going to be aiming our feet and shoulders left. And the reason for that is we want our swing path to be out to in. So the club is going along this line, it's going along your shoulder line. Now, Matt, if I'm swinging left, the club face is pointing right, where's the ball gonna go? The ball is gonna go out between those two angles. Now, the people that love the physics will tell you 70% of direction comes from the club face. Remember, the ball isn't touching the club face, it's just sending it out of the bunker. So, what do we do with our hands and ball position? The first thing we're going to look at is ball position on this. Because if I was square, the ball would be what would look like the middle. We're going to open our ball position, our feet up. The ball's going to drift a little bit further forward, but I still want the ball going forward. And the reason for that is we want the low point, we want to be hitting the sand back behind it, maybe 2-3 inches, maybe a little bit more. Okay, so we want to be taking quite a bit of sand before the ball. So ball position forward, that means we're going to hit the ground before the ball. Now, hands. If we drop the club face down a lot, the more we drop down, the more we're going to pick that club up to get it to go forward and to get a bigger swing. Now, that's fine, but that means the ball's going to start out a little bit straighter. So if you've got your hands, if you're used to having your hands low, which I'd recommend, you get steeper. You don't have to be as open, but I would like to see you still obviously open to the target. This shot, to be fair, is quite a long bunker shot. It's about 22, 23 yards. I'm gonna have my feet open. I'm gonna have an aggressive swing. Now, because I got the club face open, I've already got 58 degrees. If I open it up, we're gonna be pushing like 70 something degrees. So it's gonna be a lot of loft. I'm not gonna be opening it that much for such a long bunker shot when I've already got 58 degrees aloft. So that means I'm going to be a little bit squarer. The ball position is still forward. I'm going to be picking it up and releasing that club underneath. That means release. I want the back of that club hitting that sand. So we're doing that. It feels and looks a little bit like I'm flicking at it. That doesn't mean I want to be moving back. And this is the last key or little secret. We're going to keep the weight on our front foot. About 70% of our weight is going to remain on our front foot. So I'm going to get the weight forward, hands nice and low, and I'm going to be nice and aggressive. And that's a pretty nice shot. If you stick to these keys, you're going to be successful. You will struggle a little bit with distance, and that depends on how much sand you take and the length of your swing. But please go away, play around with the ideas I've given you. Any questions, stick them in the comments, and I'll try and get back to you as fast as I can. Hope this has been good for you.